Welcome again to this second webinar on the Connect 12. Last week we saw all the products that HumanWare offer in the low vision portfolio. And this week what we'll do is that we'll concentrate ourselves on the Connect 12. The Connect 12 is an all-in-one magnifier, which is a tablet and very portable, intelligent tablet and magnifier all in one. So it can act as your computer and your portable CCTV. Also very nice to have in school environment. So if you are a teacher and have students that are using the Connect 12, I'll show you how to set up and how to get your students to be involved in technology and get to use this technology as early as possible so that they can have success in their studies. Again, my name is Eric. I'm accompanied with Natalie, which is the product manager for low vision devices at HumanWare. Say hello, Natalie.
Hi, everybody.
So this is going to be kind of like an interactive webinar. So if you do have any questions while I'm talking or while Natalie is talking, please use the chat them in, and we'll try to get that answer out to you as soon as we can. And that we're talking about the subject, so we'll be on the subject right now. All right, good. So let's start. I'm just going to pivot this here. It's not an ideal environment. I'm at home like everybody else. We're working from home. So I'm hoping that you're keeping safe. And let's try to get this on the road here. So let me adjust here my camera. So you have here the Connect 12, very portable device, which has a little handle so that you can carry around with you, and very light. It fits very well in a bag, a backpack, and also it comes with a handbag, a shoulder bag. But if students prefer a backpack, it fits very well in a backpack. To unfold the device, use one finger and just press on that base, which is the gray part of it, and just pull on the handle. And you'll have the first step of opening up the Connect 12. And after you just pull on the top part of the device. So this is the stand, how it looks. Underneath the tablet docks on the stand. So again, it's an Android tablet that really docks on the stand. Underneath the stand, we have, move this up a bit, we have a set of LEDs, 6 on each side. You have a set of speakers also, and we're using the camera of the Connect 12 on the tablet right here, which has a polarized lens, so to reduce glare when you're using glossy paper. On each side, there's a couple of ports on the right-hand side. So if I start at the bottom, you have the speaker that you can feel here at the bottom. And then when you go up, you have the headphone jack. One more up, you have the HDMI port, which is a micro HDMI port. And also right above that, you have the charging port, which is a circular port. It's a bit smaller than the headphone jack, so you don't get confused with it. So it's the third one up. And then on top of that, the last one is your USB-C connector to transfer files from your tablet to your computer or vice versa. And also on the top of that, you have a micro SD card slot that you can use to have more memory. So if I move down my right-hand side, I have 2 buttons on the bottom. You have, I just touched the power button, but you have the power button and the volume button. I'm just gonna go back here, there we go. And again, to undock the tablet, just pull on the clip. To dock it, just pull on back on the clip and put the tablet on. Now, I'm gonna go on my side here. Usually, when I see young student using the tablet or using the device, they pull the screen down and forward, just so that it's ergonomically good manner of sitting in front of the CCTV. Now this is going to pose a problem. Let's say I have a worksheet to work on, like my math here, put my worksheet underneath. There's not a lot of space in between the camera and my hand. So one nice trick is maybe just get a small pencil here, small size pencil, so that it fits underneath. So small hands, and then you can use the underneath, you can use the space underneath without the pen getting away on the way underneath the tablet. So that's one thing. So get yourself a nice little pen here if you're using it tilted in this manner. And also my distance camera goes either on the right or the left hand side of the device, just like that. Okay, we're going to talk about the distance camera a bit later on. But basically what you want to do when you open a device or turn on the device for a student or for somebody that you're helping out setting up, there's a couple of settings that I like to use. The first one is really mechanically. The first time you're going to use a tablet on the magnifier and you want to have a full page OCR done on it, mark that place. What I do, I use tape and I put a corner where my page, my top corner of the page will sit, so that I know that when it's at that corner, when I feel it at that corner, that means I'm going to have a full page on the screen. So that's a nice little tool that can be added here. Some 2 tape and do a 90-degree here angle. This is where my top corner page will be to have a full screen or full page capture. Once you're done on that, what you can do is that you can go on to the settings icon. I hope you can see this correctly, but you press on the settings icon in Prodigy, and you have a couple of options. If you do have a Connect 12 with you, you can follow along. And what I do first, and what you should do also at the same time, is that if you scroll down to this menu, scroll down towards the bottom. I'm gonna maybe move. I'm gonna try to get a better angle here. There's an About option at the very last option. Click on that. And right now, the version of Prodigy that you should be using, it's the latest version out in the field, is 4.2.1.7722. So if you don't have that, you should have the latest version installed. And how to do this is that you go back one menu up and then find in those options, in the settings option, system, configure your Wi-Fi. How to do that? You go into Wi-Fi setup, turn on the Wi-Fi if it's not on, and then go into your Wi-Fi networks. If I click on Wi-Fi networks, right now on my system, I'm already set up on my Wi-Fi here at home, but if you scroll down, you'll see all the connections that can be made around me. So all the networks that are around me, and you can choose one. If I click on this one, click on connect, and you'll be prompted for a password. Enter your password using the virtual keyboard that will pop up, and then just press the checkbox, and you should connect. You should be able to connect to the internet through your Wi-Fi like that. Once you're connected to the Wi-Fi, then you can go and download and see if you have any updates to do. So you go back to other screens using the back button on the top left corner of the screen, and then in System again, Settings Systems, you'll see Software Update. So if I tap on that, I should be up to date, so I have no updates to be done. But if you're not up to date, it will prompt you that there is an update to do. So that would be the first thing I would do setting up a student or setting up somebody with the Connect 12. If I go back to my settings menu, again with that, or back to my main menu, tap again on that settings icon. You can set up, what I like doing for students is going to audio and turn off the speech. The speech is on automatically. The reason is to speech all or to voice all the menus and all wherever you are. So if you're very low vision, you can still use the tablet. But if you're low vision and you're a student, I usually put it to off so that the student doesn't get lazy and can read what is on the screen and not have the device reading it out loud for him. So I usually turn it off, so audio off, so speech is off. And then if I go back up again in my settings menu, you can also change the contrast colors. So depending on the eye condition of the student or the person using it, you can go into user interface. And then in here, there's several things you can do. You can change either the interface to a standard or a simple interface. The simple interface is really a simple mode. You won't have the gallery and all the tweaks and all that. I would leave it in standard. You have everything that you need in standard. You can change the language that is on the tablet, but also you can change the color contrast. So if you tap on color, which is the third option in this menu, you can change it to white on black. There we go. I think we have a better result here with my camera, so I'm going to leave it on there. So this is your color contrast that you can set up for your student or the user that will be able to use. And then you can come back to the main menu and you see all the color contrast is all there. If you need any help, you have the help application, which again, if you're connected to the Wi-Fi, you have access to the YouTube tutorials that have been made. So the webinars, a couple of capsules that have been made so that you can use the device quickly. So this is all the help application, the initial setup, how to position the Connect when you're using it. And again, that small pencil comes in useful. But we'll show you another way. You can, yes, use a pencil in live mode, but we'll show you another way how to do this and for a student to accomplish, let's say, a math problem, a math worksheet without him or her using a pencil. So I'm going to leave it to Natalie. We're set up. I hope you followed correctly and you got your Connect 12 set up for you, and you can follow Natalie. Natalie is going to go through a couple of the application, especially the Magnifier application, what can be done with the Magnifier application. So Natalie, I'm going to leave you the floor and go with it.
Thank you, Eric. So we have a question regarding the distance camera. We're going to be looking at it towards the end of our presentation. So let me talk to you about the Connect 12 and more options. So let me go on my Connect 12. So we like to use the magnifier for reading and capturing. So let me show you how we can do. So in live mode, we can use a book. Here I use the kids book because it's glossy, and we're very good with glossy magazines and glossy books because Eric showed you our cameras. They are polarized. So we can capture an image. We can read it directly, or we can capture the image. So let me put the book through it. Just making sure you see everything. Okay. So I will capture this by tapping on the screen. It's recording. And now I can read it right on my sheet. So I can either play to have it read to me. I can stop by tapping on the screen and read again by tapping on the screen. If I want to stop reading further in the text, I just tap where I want to start reading. Okay, this is the end of my page. So let me go back. I'm on the regular page. This page, just so you know, starts with the word Julie. So when I'm going to be saving it to go into my gallery, that's how it's going to be saved, by the first few words or the first word on the page. So let me tap here on the third button, which is a diskette. And it's going to be saved automatically into my gallery. I would like to show you that it's also possible to capture multi-page. So if I swipe on the right, I have multi-capture. If I swipe again, I have live mode, which I was before. So let's go into multi-capture because sometimes you need to capture more than one page. So I'm going to put my screen again parallel to my sheet. Okay, I'm in full page. I'm tapping once on the screen. It is saving the first page, and I'm going to be saving 2 pages for this presentation. So the second page, again, I tap once, and it's saving the second page.
It's a press and hold. It's not really a tap, so you have to press and hold on the screen to take the capture, or you can use a button to capture also.
Thank you for the precision, Eric. So if I go back using the left button, the arrow, and I go into my gallery, I'm going to be able to look at my 2 documents. So the first document that was named Julie is right here and saved. Again, on this page, I can have it read to me, or I can enlarge it by pinching, or by using the plus and the minus sign to have the right size for me to read. Usually in elementary school, kids need to learn how to read, and they need to see it. So it's a good way for them to see it. So if I go in my document, I can pan it, and I can also write on it. Sometimes you can capture an exam. The student is going to be able to answer right away on that sheet for his exam. It's nice because they can enlarge the exams as much as they want. So let me take a stylus. I can use my finger. I'm gonna do both. So on the third icon from the left, I have a pen. So now I'm in the pen mode. If I want, I can write, whoops, I have to tap on it. I can write on it, and I have many options. It works with my finger also, like I said. I have many options. I can write with a pen. I can have a marker if I want to have something marked. And I can also use text if I have an external keyboard, or if I want to use the keyboard integrated in the Connect 12, I can tap. I can tap with it. So let me go here, and I'm gonna write exam. Exam, enter, and I send it. So the word exam is right here. I can enlarge it as well and put it whenever I want on the text. I can also use different colors. So if I want to write either with the text or a pencil or the marker, I can have access to a palette of colors. Some students work, like Eric just did, work black, written in white on black, so they can write in white, and they can write in many colors. And if they make a mistake, they can erase it. So let's say I didn't want to write the word exam. I press on the eraser, which is the third button from the left, and I erase my word. I'm sorry, I didn't press
A little
erase.
precision there. It's going to erase what you have selected. So right now, as you can see on the button banner, there is a pencil that is selected. So you can only erase what you have written with the stylus or with your finger. But if you want to erase the word exam, you need to select the text. And that's going to select the text. But if you go over the circle you did over the where word, it will not erase that. So if you can go over the word where you circled it, it will not be able to erase that.
No.
Okay, because it's only erasing what you did with the virtual keyboard. If you want to erase the, yeah, exactly. You select the pen and then you go to the eraser. Perfect.
Yes, thank you very much. So I showed you how to capture, how to work with the document, how to use multi-capture. Let me go back to the document I saved in multi-capture. So instead of being just one sheet in the gallery, let me show you that we are in the gallery. So this is the gallery. This is the document we've just worked on. So besides it, I have a binder. And if I open it, I see my 2 pages. I took a picture, I captured it being sideways, but if I want to work with it, it's going to be on the right side to see it. There's no problem, so I can download it. I can do just the same with those documents as I did before with the other document. Okay, I think I covered everything. Am I right, Eric?
You're good.
I'm good. So I'm gonna pass the mic to Eric. He's gonna show you how the distance camera works.
All right, thank you, Natalie. Okay, so all right, so Natalie went over some cool features on the magnifier and a couple on the gallery. I just want to answer a couple of questions here that we have. One of the question was, will the Connect 12 automatically update or is it always manual? The Connect 12 will automatically update if you're connected to a Wi-Fi. So if it's connected to internet, you'll get that you'll get the pop-up that will say there's an update available automatically. But if it's not connected to a Wi-Fi, then you will have to do it manual like we just did. I hope that answers the question. And for the question about the distance camera, what the person was asking, could the distance camera be used to do a video recording of a teacher doing a lesson? And no, it cannot. At HumanWare, we debated a lot internally on giving access to that, and we decided not to, just because basically filming somebody, you're not allowed doing so without having their consent. So just for that, we eliminated that functionality. Okay, and then there's another question. Can the device merge the 2 documents into one? I can show you that. We can do that, yes. Let me just start up my Connect 12 here. And again, when you saw Natalie putting the device perpendicular to take the full page, you'll get a little vibration when that perpendicular angle is going to be reached at that 90-degree reach. So let's take, for example, one of my sheets here. I'm going to use my corner to feel where I need to put my sheet so I don't have to look at the screen. I can just feel it with my hand where to put that corner. Press and hold on the screen, and it's going to take that first capture. Okay. Now I just did one single capture here, but you can do several like that. And then let me do a multi-page document here. So press and hold. It's going to save page 1. I'm going to get a second page here for this example. Press and hold. I can do a press and hold. It's easier. I can use a button banner with a capture button, which is the 4th button on the right-hand side. Once I'm done capturing my multi-page document, I can go to my main menu and go to the gallery. But if you notice, when you're in multi-page, there is a button on the top right corner, and that's going to bring you directly to the multi-captured document. So if I do that, it's going to bring you directly to my 2 pages that I just captured. Okay, so I can start reading them right away, or like Natalie did. You see what I just did here? 2 fingers, double tap will bring you to the main carousel. That's a cool gesture that can be used, and memorize that when you're stuck somewhere or it takes too long to go back and using the back button. 2 fingers, double tap on the screen, and you're right away in the main menu. Let's go in my gallery. So I have my document that I just scanned with my 2 pages right here. So let's say I want to have a 3rd page, which is this one here, the one that I have here. You press on and hold on the document or the page that you want to move to. And then by doing that, anytime you're going to go in the gallery and press and hold on a document, on a page, on a folder, it's going to pop up with an action menu. Okay, so what kind of action you want to do in that with that object? So in this menu, you have share, you have move, delete, rename, but I want to move this. So I'm going to say move, and I can move this to a new category. I cannot move it to one document. I thought you can. Interesting. See, when we do stuff like that and we get questions, I thought you can add something to a book, but you cannot. So let me get back to you. I got your name, and I'll get back to you and see what can be done. Interesting situation here, but that could be something that could maybe be added. Oh, there we go. I found it. So you go into your document into 2 pages here. There's a button on the top right corner, which is your settings. And then you can have an append a page. You can capture a new page, or you can add a new page. So that's one way of appending to a multi-page capture. So let's say I want to continue my books, my book scanning, so I can add a new capture, or I can just use new page, which will add a new blank page. But let me get back to you. I think your question was really to get a picture from the root of the carousel into the document, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I have another question. What is the maximum font size equivalent? That is a good question, which I do not have the answer. I'll try to get you the information. I can get the X factor that is on the screen, but I'm not sure I can get the size of the font that we're displaying. Can you connect an external keyboard? Of course you can. We do offer at Humanware a Bluetooth keyboard that you can buy separately as an accessory, but you can connect any Bluetooth keyboard. You just won't have that little tweaks that we did to go back to the Prodigy system, or to open the settings, or to go into Magnifier. So we've added that to our keyboard. So that it makes it easier to navigate through our system. But of course, you can connect a USB keyboard if you want to. You can connect a Bluetooth keyboard, any keyboard in that matter. And it really works well, especially when you're taking down notes. If you go on the top right corner, select the settings, and you can create a new page, and that new page will be, that's not what I wanted here. There we go. It's a blank page. But you can use, as Natalie was showing, you can use your finger or a stylus in order to modify and take notes, okay? Or you can connect your keyboard and use that big T there. And when you're gonna do your press and hold and you're gonna be brought to this, you can use a virtual keyboard. If I had a connected keyboard, I would use that. But what's interesting is that I can be in a classroom and take out all my notes using my keyboard. Once I'm done and the teacher's done talking, send that to my notes, and then I can play around with the magnification on that text and place it anywhere I want. I love this feature and I use it. I'm not visually impaired, but I use this feature because I just like it. It's an awesome feature. Okay, can we connect a larger monitor? Is there an HDMI output? Of course you can. And at the beginning, I went through the ports, but when you're looking at the tablet in front of you, on the right-hand side, there's a couple of ports. And if I start from the bottom, you have the first one is the headphone jack. The second port is your HDMI. So it's a micro HDMI. Okay, so you will need to purchase a micro HDMI to an HDMI cable. Do I have one here? I think I do have one here, just to show you what it looks like. But basically, yes, you can. So you can, what I do in my presentations is that I don't have one. Yes, I do. Good. So a micro HDMI will look something like this. It's a pretty small HDMI port. And on the other side is just your normal size HDMI that you can connect to a big screen TV. And what I do is that when I do presentations, that's what I do. I have my PowerPoint on my Connect 12, and I project that through the projector using my cable. So that's a very powerful tool, because then you can switch from, I can switch from my PowerPoint to my Prodigy and back and forth like that. So it's an awesome tool. All right. Yep.
Somebody's asking if we can capture pictures. So of course we can capture pictures. It's really helpful for the kids in class because sometimes they have to do geometry or math or see something on the board or in a picture on the wall. So we can capture pictures, enlarge them, see them, and save them.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do far distance capture, and what I've seen also is that we do offer a couple of accessories on at Humanware, but one of the accessory is a case, a leather case that can go on top of your tablet, and then the student can go around. Let's say you're at a zoo with your class, and then you can start capturing using the camera that's behind the tablet, and then keep that and have that on your Connect 12. But also using the distance, which is the next subject, the distance camera. So we can take a picture and I'll show you how. But before doing that, I'm going to show you what is the distance camera. The distance camera right here, I have an SL25, which zooms in at 25x. And basically, this is a Wi-Fi camera. On the camera here, you have on the top, you have a power button. On the, if I look at it this way, on my left-hand side, I have two buttons. I have the zoom in, zoom out button, and I have also a capture button. So I can use that. So it's very nice to feel them, to know where they are instead of using the screen, but I can use that for sure. And then on the right-hand side, I have a little door. So that door, if you open up that door, this is where the battery is. And then on here, you also have the Wi-Fi password, which I'll show you, because just for the demonstration's sake, I've unpaired my camera. So I want to show you how to pair the camera. If ever it happens to you and the software does not find your camera, I'm going to show you how to pair it, okay? And I'm also going to show you, let's say you press the power button and nothing happens, okay? Watch this, nothing happens. I'm pressing the power button, nothing happens. My camera's not turning on. What you can do, open that little door. It's the same thing if you have a 10x camera, which is a smaller version, but it's the same thing. If you open that door where the battery is, there's a little yellow clip, and sometimes what happens in the transport, it gets knocked out and the battery just disconnects itself. So what you do is just press on the battery fully, so it connects directly in the bottom of where it's supposed to be. And by doing that, I can press my power button, and now my camera turns on. Okay. So I can place it on the left or the right-hand side. Right now, I just powered on my camera. And what I want to do is that if I go into my distance application, so if I scroll to the left of my main menu and tap on distance, it's going to try to find my distance viewing camera, which is not going to do it because I didn't pair it. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the error message that you're going to get if it doesn't find the camera. And what it's trying to do is trying to connect Wi-Fi to my tablet, so no cables at all. So I cannot use the internet while using my distance viewing camera because it's using that Wi-Fi signal. But right now my distance camera is not connected and I want to pair it. So what you want to do is hit the settings button, which is the second button on the left-hand side, the button banner. And then at the bottom of these options here, the third option down, you have Wi-Fi setup. Tap on that, and you're going to see the same Wi-Fi setup that we saw at the beginning of the tutorial. And here you'll have Wi-Fi networks, which is the second option. Tap on that, and then look for the network that is going to be written Pix Pro dash SL. In my case, it's an SL25, so it's going to be written SL25. And if you have a 10, SL10, it's going to be written SL10, and then underscore, and there's going to be a number. That number is different for any camera, for every camera. That's how it distinguishes between several cameras. So in my case, my identifier is 7322. So you want to tap on that. And then you're going to have connect. So you want to tap on connect. And the password is the same for everybody, any camera. it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's simple. So right now I've written my password all in dots. If you want to see what I have written, click on that I button at the end of the text box, and you'll be able to see your password. So I've written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once that's done, click on that checkbox on the virtual keyboard, and it should be able to find my camera. You do that once, and that camera is going to be paired for life until you reset the tablet. Okay. So I'm connected now to my camera. So if I go back, again using the back button on the top left corner, I should be able to connect to my distance. There we go. So I have a little whiteboard here that I'm pretty close to, that I can see here. I don't know if I zoom in. I can zoom in again using those little buttons that I showed you on the side of the camera, but I can do a pinch and zoom. I don't like using the pinch and zoom because when you do the pinch and zoom, it goes one increment at a time. It's not smooth. So what you want to do is use the button banner. At the bottom, there's a plus and a minus. So if you want to zoom in, use the plus, just press and hold on that button. It's going to zoom in quite smoothly. I don't know if it's going to focus right because I'm pretty close here to the image, but it does. Cool. So you can move that camera around 160 degrees, 360 degrees if you want to, but that's very nice. A lot of products out there won't move that much, won't rotate that much. So I'm just going to zoom out here because I'm pretty close to my picture that I'm looking at right now. So I just press the minus button to zoom out. And if you want to take a capture of what you're looking at, the third button from the left-hand side of the button banner is a camera button. So you press on that, it's going to capture it. So what it's going to do, camera is going to capture it, then it's going to be stored on the camera, and then it's going to transfer it to your Connect 12 in a few steps, which right now the picture is taken and it's saved. So we'll get back to that. I'll show you where to find your pictures, your distance image pictures in your gallery in a second. But what I want to show you also when using your distance application is that there's an arrow button on the left-hand side. Tap on that. Watch this. My screen is going to be split in two. So I have at the bottom here, the bottom part of my screen, I can use a pinch and zoom, but really is my document that I have underneath my camera. So this is my near view, and the top part is my far view. So I can be listening to a teacher or somebody in the meeting and listening to him and following his slides that that is on the board, and also be taking notes if I want to. Right now I've put my worksheet, my math worksheet underneath, so I can be filling in my answers while the teacher is explaining it on the board, but that can be all done. And let's say I want to toggle from one to the other. So right now, I don't know if you can see it pretty good on the screen right now, but there is a red rectangle that surrounds the portion of the screen that has the focus right now. And right now, my top part has that rectangle, that red rectangle. So if I press on that while I have my red rectangle, it's going to bring me to my distance viewing camera. Again, I have the option of splitting the screen, and then my present focus is on my near view right now because the red rectangle is there. You tap on that, and you'll be switched to my near view. Okay, and then in my near view, I still have that possibility of splitting the screen. Okay, by tapping that arrow, and you're back into the splitting screen. So that's very nice, so that if you want to zoom in, zoom out, but there's also another gesture to swap between the two very quickly, and you don't have enough real estate when splitting the screen, is that, did you see what I just did? So just a swipe across the screen from left to right will automatically switch between distance and near view. So that's very useful when you want to quickly get that image on the right, or my Connect 12 on the right image very quickly to take notes to see what my teacher is doing in front of the class or the presenter in front of the meeting room. And again, in my distance viewing application, you have all kinds of settings. My second button, or on my button banner, you can adjust the contrast, color, you can, and then the brightness also of the image that can be adjusted. But these, they're at default levels usually. I don't really touch that, but if you want to, you can do that also. Do we have any questions, Natalie, that are popping up, or are we good?
Yes, we have quite a few. There's somebody in Ireland that is asking how to get a case for the Connect 12 because he was having trouble with the shipping. Maybe they can write to us
Yes.
and we will take care of that.
Yeah, you can write to me and I'll forward it to the right person in the UK. If I'm not mistaken, it will be either Alan Davis, which is basically is our rep in the UK, in our UK offices, and he can direct you to the right person. But if not, just send me an email, Eric period Beauchamp, BEAUCHAMP at humanware.com, and or just reply to the email when you registered and I'll get the email. Okay.
Okay, we have a general question. Somebody's asking the difference between the Connect 12 and the Braille Not Touch Plus.
Wow, they're two different products totally. The Connect 12 is for low vision. You have no Braille displays on the Connect 12. But on the Braille Note Touch, you have a Braille display on there. It's a 32 or 18 cell display that you have options on. But basically, the Connect 12 does not have that. But you can, if you want to, connect through Bluetooth a Braille display. I'm thinking here of the Brilliant, any Brilliant BI14 or the BI40 of Humanware that you can connect on this. I'm not sure if it works at 100%, but I know at least 90% of it works and is translated good. What you have to do though is that you have to set up TalkBack, Braille back in the Android system in order to be to work.
Okay, we have another question. Somebody is asking what's the resolution that can be transferred from distance camera through Wi-Fi?
That's a
It's a
good
long
question. I don't have the
question.
numbers for you on top of my head. I can get back to you. That was in the Q&A, or is it in the chat?
It's in the Q&A.
Q&A. I think we'll have the name of the person that had that
Well,
question.
the name is in probably in Greek. Maybe we
Okay.
can ask for an email.
Yeah. Please send me an email. I'll get those numbers for you. On top of my head, I don't have them right now.
Okay. Another question, will the Buddy app be made available for the Windows platform?
So let's talk about the Buddy app. Very cool app that we just launched this year. I'm going to take my Android phone. I've installed it, and if I'm not mistaken, it is available on Android now. We launched it this week, and really the Buddy app. Wow, I don't have a good resolution on this webcam here, but basically it's an app where you can get the how-to guides, the videos. If you have any questions on our products, this is the app to download. So you have all the user guides, you have all the videos, you have all our support numbers or emails all in there, and also all the supporting news that goes with it. So this is going to be it's going to be evolving in time. And right now, this week, I think it was this week. It's our first week in iOS and Android that it's available. So go and take a look. It's HW Buddy app that you can find on the store, on either Android store or iOS store. Download that, register, and you can have all the information about our products. And if it's going to be available in Windows, for now, there's no roadmap for Windows, but we can take a look at it. We'll see what can be done.
Okay, so the same person is asking if what's the maximum amount of documents you could capture on the Connect 12?
More than 1,000 documents. Again, there's a couple of gigabytes of memory on the Connect 12, so you have a lot of space, and you can store a lot of images or a lot of documents on here.
Okay. Can you also have the option to type your notes when you're in the split screen?
For now, no, not on this version, but this should be available in the next, not the next version. Talking about the next version now, there's going to be a new version in April, so in 2 weeks or so, we'll be launching a new version. We'll have a webinar just on that, on the new features, on that new update. But in the update of September, usually we always aim to have two versions available per year, two updates per year, one in March, April, and one in August, September. And the next version is scheduled for September. After that, after the April one, that will have the possibility of splitting the screen with any Prodigy application, not third-party application like Chrome and all that for now, but Prodigy application. So I'm talking about books, I'm talking about the gallery, and taking notes virtually with what I just did here with a blank page. That could be a possibility, maybe in the September version. Yes.
Okay. Somebody's asking, will the Orbit reader be able to connect with it?
I do not support the Orbit reader, so I'm guessing yes, it should be able, if it's supported by Android version 6, it should be able to connect. Because again, it's all supported with Android. So if the Orbit reader has the possibility to connect to Android devices, it could be connected to the Connect 12, yes.
Okay, you just talked about the Braille reader earlier. I think it's a question that came after. It says, can you direct to instructions of what to change to link to a Braille reader?
Well, we can have a webinar just on that. I'm not set up and I'm not keen really on the complete procedure, but if you go, let me start back this. I went a bit quickly on here, but I'm in Prodigy, right? I'm in our homemade humanware application. I use my 5 fingers or 4 fingers, press and hold on the screen, and I'm out into the Android system. So if you go into Android and you tap on the icon to go in all apps, you have here the options of seeing all the apps, but also the settings application. If you go in here and you go into accessibility, you have the option of turning on all kinds of accessibility here. And you have access to TalkBack. And okay, so this is not downloaded. You have to go into the bookstore, no, sorry, not the bookstore, but the application store of Android. Type in, I think it's Brailleback. Is it Brailleback? Google Brailleback. Download that application and you should be able to connect to Bluetooth with your device and then afterwards follow all the instruction that you have on here. Again, I'm not too keen on the procedure. We can do, please send me an email. Maybe we can do a webinar just on that with the help of our product, our Braille product specialist or product manager on the Braille products, and we can have maybe a co-host webinar just on that, how to connect Braille products to low vision devices. But yeah, so you need the Google Brailleback, install that, and you should be able to connect it through Bluetooth, and then follow how to configure the Brailleback, and it should work. In
Okay, so
summary, that would be it.
okay, somebody's asking, will the training for all your product be available in the Humanware Buddy app?
Yes, well, if they're talking about the last webinar that we had concerning all the low vision products that we had last week, it's already uploaded on the YouTube. So on the Buddy app, if you go to videos, you'll be directed to the YouTube channel, the Humanware YouTube channel. Go to playlist, and you'll see there's all kinds of playlists, and select the low vision webinars, and that video is there. And also all the low vision manuals will also be available on the Buddy app on the how-to guides.
Okay, somebody's talking about the Connect 12S and is asking if it's the same hardware.
The Connect 12S.
Yeah, never heard of it.
Never heard of the Connect 12S, but I did hear about the Connect, what's it called? There's one from Dolphin, which is a Connect also product. Now the Connect 12 is made by Humanware, and it has a Prodigy software application suite that is installed. This is what you're seeing right here, and that's a Connect 12, and it comes with the base station here that you see here. The Connect 12S, I'm not sure what it is.
Okay, Kyle is reacting. He says he's the guy who asked about distance camera for the first question. He said, I've just tested on my side when in Android mode, and you connect the camera to a camera app Prox Pro. I'm able to record. Does this not defeat your purpose of not adding this feature into the Prodigy app?
Well, when using the Prodigy, it will not stream. You're using a third-party application, and at Humanware, we don't support those third-party applications. I prefer the user to use the Prodigy application inside the Prodigy software, which is the distance camera application here. So if you're using a third-party application, that's all up to you. It's not to Humanware. But I'll take a look at that application and see and give my results on it.
Okay, very good. So somebody's saying that a Connect 12 and Braille Reader webinar would be appreciated. So we
Okay.
will look into that because she has student with dual media.
Okay.
What are the differences and similarities between the Connect 12 and the Braille Not Touch? We touched on it. Does the tablet has the possibility to alter the settings regarding accessibilities?
Yes. Well, I just went through it here. If you go into Android settings, and then at the bottom here, there's an accessibility option. So if you go in here, usually on new tablets, magnification gestures are active. So I like using the magnification gestures. So this is how you would do it here. And what this is that you triple tap on the screen and it zooms in, and it makes the font bigger, and I can zoom in even farther if I want to. So yes, you have access to that in the Android system.
Okay. You started your presentation with the speech on. Somebody's asking if there's a speech option. Maybe you want to show how we can have access to speech on the tablet again
If you're talking about the in
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 Prodigy.
Prodigy,
Yes.
yes. So in audio, to go and set your audio options, go into Prodigy and swipe towards the right, and you'll see a settings icon. Tap on that, and then the second option in the settings will be audio. You tap on that, and then the first option is speech. And as you can see right now, my speech is off. And there's three options that you can select here: off, documents only, and on. When speech is on, it will voice all the menus and will voice all everything that is on the screen. But if you do documents only, that will voice only when you're going to start reading a document. So for example, let's start with my voice off and go back to my document that I've taken here in my gallery. Yeah, it's true. I also wanted to show you where I store my distance viewing captures. So let's start a document. My speech is off right now. If I start reading my document, it's going to scroll, and you won't hear any speech. If I increase the volume here, there's no speech. So I like this because then the student reads what he needs to read, and for a teacher, it's kind of like an evaluation to see if he understands the text. But if you really want to have speech, no, not that. You see what I just did? I just double tap on the screen, and it will toggle between speech off and on. Okay, so documents only, if I would have chosen document only in my previous menu, my text would start reading out loud. If I mat off, audio off, and I double tap on the screen, then the speech will be turned on and I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I guess my sound is pretty much high. Okay, and I can also increase the speed by swiping on the screen. So the voice is going to go faster and faster and faster. Or on the other side, I can slow down the text also. Okay. Double tap.
Can you also take the time to choose the different voice options? Somebody's asking about that.
You can. If I'm just going to show here my button banner, go into settings and oh, am I going to have? I don't have two voices. If I have two voices, I would have it in the settings menu. But in my case here, this is not a really good example. I don't have two voices installed. So if I go into system, see here, I only have one voice installed. I can go into configuration. I can install a second voice. Let's try to, now let's do this as a procedure. That's a good procedure. I'll show you how to add a voice. So you can have up to two voices or two languages installed on the Prodigy Connect 12 at a time. So if you go into settings in Prodigy, user interface, system language, right now I only have one. So if you have two installed, you would have two languages on here. And then the third option would be configuration. Click on that configuration. You need to be connected to Wi-Fi. You need to be connected to internet to have this. So right now I have English, and I have in parentheses, I have one. That means I have one English voice installed, which if I go in there, I see that Heather has a checkbox on the right-hand side. That means that's the one that I have installed. Let's say, since my primary language, uh, I'm French, so I'm French Canadian. Let's go and install a French voice. So I'm just gonna, I know that Manon here is quick to install. So let's try this. So I'm gonna tap on Manon. There's gonna be a checkbox that is gonna appear. And I can go back and then hit that little paper airplane. That paper airplane will start the download and it will install that voice. So I'm gonna let go here. I'm gonna see if there's some more questions, but as soon as I get two voices on there, in the settings menu where we were reading, you should be able to change the voice of the person reading.
Okay, yeah, we have a precision about the person who was asking about the 12S. S was for plural. So my question about the hardware previously wasn't clear for you. Are there more than one version of the hardware, or all the Connect 12 devices are the same and the difference are the software updates?
So right now we're on version 2 of the Connect 12. We had, if we talk about a bit of the history of the Connect 12, we had a first version, which was a Samsung tablet. And then when we came out with a new Connect 12, a new generation, we came out with a new tablet and a new stand. Now, the first version, like I said, was a Samsung tablet, and the stand was made by, I forgot the company name. I think it was Hollandoff or something like that. Anyways, and then we went off and decided to design our own stand, a more robust stand, with our own tablet, but it uses also the same camera. So now the two products, or the two Connect 12s, the two versions of them, follow the same software version, okay? But you cannot get the first version anymore. It's only the second version that you can get now. So yes, all what's on the market right now, all the Connect 12s have the same version of hardware. And then we update the software accordingly. Right now, everything follows the same software. So if you would have the old version of the Connect 12, it would be the same Prodigy version that you would have installed on both.
Okay, somebody's asking about our market development for South Africa.
Okay, I'm not too sure what kind of market development, but we do offer products in South Africa. And again, send me an email and I'll direct you to the right person. But I'm pretty sure that we have Connect 12s in South Africa. We do have a dealer there.
Okay. Can the version 1 do everything that version 2 does if software is updated?
Absolutely. If the software is updated, it will do the annotation. It will do everything that the second version does. The only difference that it will not have is hardware. The hardware is that there's no LEDs to have the maximum image quality when doing OCR. And so that won't be there. Also, speakers won't be there on the stand. But yes, if you update the version of Prodigy, all the features that are available on the second version will be on the first version. So this seems not to be working here. Maybe my connection to server is pretty slow here. Okay.
Okay, if you ever start your speech, can you put it a little bit louder because somebody was not able to understand it. The next question.
Yep.
Okay, the African question is about the speech language
Oh.
Afrikaans. Okay, we would have to.
Oh, okay. So no, we don't have a TTS. The specific language in South Africa can't remember the name of that specific language that they or it's we don't support that right now. I'm not sure. I would have to take a look at that. Send me the name of that the language that the native language in South Africa. That would be
Okay,
great.
we have it in the question, so I'm
Okay,
gonna take a note of the name of the
absolutely.
person and the question.
Okay,
We went through all the questions.
we have somebody
I
that has a
think
hand
so.
up.
Okay.
Let's see if we can allow that person to speak. All right, hold on here. All right, Kyle, I think if you're able to, you can unmute yourself and we can have your answer. You can have your question live.
Hi Eric, how are you?
I'm good, you?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. So I am I don't know how to put it, so I'm very well equipped in terms of knowledge on humanware products. So I work for Edit Microsystems in South Africa, Cape
Okay,
Town.
okay.
And the one question I was asking about with regards to the language is Afrikaans, because we do have a lot of schools in South Africa that their native language might be Xhosa, Zulu, Pedi, and all of that. Is that something that possibly in the near future could be implemented into the Prodigy app in terms of having that verbal feedback to learners?
Well, yeah. Well, right now we do all our TTS is done by a cappella. So if a cappella does not support that the voice or that language, we cannot
Okay.
support it. But there is talks in the roadmap to maybe include some more TTS of other companies, and that's not a simple development. It's going to be more of a long-term development. So my
Okay.
short answer for short future terms, I don't think it would be possible, but I will take a look with iCapella and see what can be done.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question.
Only a pleasure.
Okay, thank you very much. Somebody's asking if they can have the download of this video to listen to it again, so we can tell them how they can have access because it's being recorded.
Absolutely, it's being recorded, and what I do when I do webinars, I have to share this information to everybody, and that's my goal, you know. And what we do is that we do record it. We afterwards upload it into into YouTube, and then I send a link usually to all the participants. So everybody that registered to this webinar will get the link from myself personally, and so that you're able to watch it afterwards, absolutely. And like I said, everything is on YouTube, but you can get access to all these recordings on the help application on the Connect 12. So if you click on help, go to YouTube's, and then you have Prodigy Connect 12 or webinar. So if you go into webinar, it should go, it shouldn't do that. If it does that, if let's say YouTube or any other application stops working, or you have that pop-up that pops up, okay, I'll show you what to do here. Go back into your Android system and then go into Play Store. You have to be connected to an account here, either a Gmail or whatever account that you're using. But go into your Play Store, and there's like little 3 bars there on the top. I still have my zooming gestures here. On the top left corner, right beside the Google Play Store, there's like 3 bars here. So click on that, and then you'll have a menu that's going to pop up, and go into My Apps and Games. And in here, what you'll get is that there's pending updates. And usually when you get errors from other applications, that means you're not up to date. So do them all, and that should solve the problem. But coming back to the help application, go to help application, go to YouTube, and then you'll be directed automatically to the webinar playlist. And usually all the recordings of my webinars are there, so you can get access directly to that. But I'll send out the link to everybody that's on this webinar right now. And also, it's going to be on Facebook. We're Facebook Live today. So everything that we're chatting here is really in live in Facebook also.
Okay, somebody has a question. I'm not really sure I understand, but it says, could you please ask me about distance camera again? I guess that this Wi-Fi camera can take a picture with high resolution. Such capture can be perfect to reviewing with small details. So maybe
Yes,
just a
absolutely. Yeah,
comment.
it is a very high resolution camera, and when it takes a picture, it's a really nice quality picture. That's not what I wanted to do here. I wanted to show you also at the same time is that when you go into gallery and you swipe to the left, you'll see a folder called distance. And in that folder, you'll have the image that we've taken. So if I tap on that, and then I can zoom in really nicely. And yes, the image quality is pretty nice. Now my webcam doesn't do justice here, but you can take that image and then move it to my root of my gallery, and by pressing and holding on the image and then move to gallery, what it will do is that it will move it to my root of my gallery, and it's going to do the OCR on the image that I've taken. So this is what it's doing here when it's turning around that little circle here. That means it's doing the OCR, trying to get the text and replace it. If there is any text, it's going to show it. But if there's a possibility of doing that. So the image quality of the distance camera is that high that we can do OCR on that distance image also. We're all good, and yeah, and we're past our hour. So we went an hour and 10 minutes or so over. So we got 10 minutes over. So thank you very much for attending. It was a pleasure talking to you guys. And if you have any questions or concerns or all that, I will be sending out an email with the webinar link, the recorded webinar link. And please be free to answer back to that email, reply back to that email. Either me or Natalie will be happy to answer all your questions. And the main goal of these webinars, again, yes, we're stuck at home, so try to learn as much as possible, but also get this technology to the hands of the student as quickly as possible. And as soon as possible that the young people get that technology in their hands, better off they will be and better success that will have on their education and then finding a really high paying job. So again, my message to you, stay safe, learn, and get the technology in the hands of the student as much as possible. Thank you very much. Have a great day and stay safe. See you next week for the next webinar.